If you're really interested in building your business from scratch and to reach a really successful peak, then one thing you can't afford to ignore is having an email list. Now, getting an email list isn't something you just have overnight. It needs to be built. And that's why in this video, I will be sharing with you 5 of my best tips that I've used in building my own list. And with these tips, you would be able to build your own list easily, and building this by the power of YouTube. Now, there's a common frenzy for people to pursue gaining followers on the various social media platforms and subscribers for their YouTube channels. Now, while doing this isn't entirely bad, but here's where they get it wrong. They forget to understand that these platforms are actually owned by a third party, and every follower that they gain also belongs to the platform as well. And at any point in time, these platforms can choose to either withdraw the currencies that you've gathered over time, or they just could also choose to shut you out. And worse, you could be deliberately stifled from the platform. And of course, we see this happening with Facebook way too often. Now, much earlier on, it was easy to get seen on Facebook, but as time went on, it became harder and harder to get noticed until you engage in like Facebook ads. And what this means is that having a ton of followers doesn't give you the assurance that you're going to get your message, that they're going to get your message. And for YouTube, only roughly about 10% of the total subscribers for the channels usually get to see the content from the videos. Now, isn't this a big problem? Of course it is. This is why I've always emphasized the need to build an email list to entrepreneurs and creatives. You see, building your list is very important to building, yourself a close-knit community. So no matter what happens back on the social media platforms, you'll rest assured that your community is safe and sound, and you will no longer be subject to the shortcomings and losses of these social media platforms. I like to say building an email list is like moving out of a rented apartment onto your own property. You have full control over making sure that your content is getting to your subscribers on your email list. And over time, you get the opportunity to communicate more deeply with your audience and get them to actually see the content that you want them to see. This is why I always emphasize that if you're going to create a long-term strategy, then building an email list must be an integral part of that strategy. So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And for all you new guys, my name is Donnell R. Jones. And on this channel, I'm passionate about teaching people how to build a profitable email list business utilizing top strategies and tips through email marketing. Now, if you find this video valuable, please smash that like button and also subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified once I drop a new video. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll give you a question of the day, and I'll also let you know how you can get exclusive access to learn how one of our students is making roughly $14,000 a month within 90 days of launching his email list. Now, with that being said, let's get right into these 5 tips. So the first tip that I would like to know is that I want you to choose your email service provider, or what I like to call a CRM. You see, the CRM simply refers to the services that you use in managing your emails and the content that you're trying to push out. Now, you've got several email providers. You got Aweber, you got MailChimp, you got ConvertKit, you got Infusionsoft. But for me, Aweber is my choice because it's an incredible service. And you might need to do some research in order to select your own choice of service. But you don't have to please don't spend too much time doing that. You can actually begin with anyone and switch later on. But before you do this, ensure that you've really done some research and have confirmed that it's possible for you to export your list and all the contact information that you have on your previous service. With this in place, you will be able to make sure that the switch whenever you want to. Now, Aweber gives really great functionality and is well suited for both beginners and even more advanced marketers. And of course, you can choose to test out the features with the free trial to see if it's suitable for you as well. Okay, so the second tip is that I would need you to create something that is really good to give out as a freebie in exchange for the email address of your target audience. Now, another name we call this freebie, you can either call it a lead magnet or a freemium. Now, let's say you create YouTube videos. You can decide to include towards the end of your video, you can say, hey, if you want to get the free guide on how to lose weight fast and in 1 week, click the link in the description. You see, here you're offering your audience a freebie and not just telling them to pretty much sign up for your newsletter. Now, you very well know that most people would have pretty much immediately be turned off by the later and would rather prefer the now. While making this freebie, a couple of things you should keep in mind that you must ensure that whenever you're offering must be really valuable for your audience. And that is, it must be something that they should find really worth coming down to fill in a form for. Now, the format can be in the range of an audio, you got video, even down to a common PDF. But of course, it doesn't always have to be stuck at PDF files. It just has to be something that they can't access publicly or by just Googling a search query. This helps to improve its value. You can decide to offer something like a checklist to help your potential audience get certain results within your field. Just make sure whatever you're offering, it has to be direct and specific. And by this, you should be able to get the exact reason why they signed up for your freebie in the first place. And this would enable you to talk to them directly and more specifically using their reason as a starting point. For example, if your freebie is about a guide on losing weight as fast as possible, now you know right away that whoever signed up for this list are individuals who are pretty much interested in losing weight fast. And in Aweber, I usually segment my list, separating my list according to, specific subjects and interests. And this way, I'm able to effectively communicate directly with them based on what their exact interests are. Now, these segments were created from the freebie that they signed up for. Now, imagine talking to a list that contains people who signed up for weight loss, but you're sending them content on finance. Of course, they would quickly unsubscribe from you because that wasn't the content they signed up for in the first place. So it's really important to think about what freebie you'll be offering and the people that you would be offering it to. And it helps you select the tone and the manner in which you would be speaking to them, and you would know exactly what to pretty much tell them. When you decide to upgrade your content and to contain more value, you would be able to properly target the right people and have them really understand and appreciate the value that you're pretty much giving them. All right, so my third tip is for you to have a landing page that you would use to capture all your leads. Now, the landing page is just basically where you would place your freebie for your potential audience, and you're pretty much telling them to come and get it. It could be a video or another file format that you would be offering. And what happens is that when they enter their name and their email address on the landing page, they get to download the freebie that you're offering. And the cool thing, most email providers will usually have this landing page embedded in their services already. And this allows you to create them really, really easily. If you prefer, you could opt for other services, but this might require for you signing up or paying a certain amount of money. But just for starting, feel free to make use of those services that come with your email service provider. It's way too easy. Okay, so now that you have gotten your email service provider, you got your freebie all set up, and you also have your landing page ready, the next tip would be my fourth tip. Now, this tip, you will need to include calls to action for your audience to input their details so they can get your freebie and thereby joining your email list for the videos that you have on your YouTube channel. I prefer to advise people to include this in every single video, especially towards the end of your video. It should be linked to whatever content that content you have in your video. For example, let's say you did a video on 5 exercises on how to lose weight fast. You could say something at the end of the video. You could be like, hey, if you're looking to burn some more fat, here's a free secret cheat sheet. Just click the link in the description and grab your cheat sheet right now. See, that way you will have succeeded in linking your video content with your call of action. And this helps people to carry your audience along and move them to the next level with you. And for those who might have not already been a part of your email list, you would be inviting them to join your private community. And while if like it was for someone who might have previously watched your video at some point in the past, and they get to come on board, your list, and become more updated with your content. And if they saw your video only once and never saw your video in their feed again until the next time, now having that call to action will help keep them engaged with you, as now have a link to get closer to you and be able to keep in touch with whatever video that you drop in the near future. Now, the win with doing this is that when you have them on your list, you can choose to promote anything ranging, from a video to drive views, or even to drive traffic to any particular content of your choice. And this is the easiest way to have people constantly join your list. And this strategy is very simple, but it's very highly effective method. Now, as you push out more videos constantly, you get a higher number of people who would be interested in becoming part of your private community. All right, so my fifth and final tip, just repeat this process over and over again. But here's a couple of things you should probably have in mind. You can continually talk about your offers in multiple videos. It's okay to present your offers in every video that you push out, but you continually create more freebies and lead magnets for your audience. Now, if this is your very first time doing this, then I would advise that you do it, just one freebie at a time. Get an audience of one particular segment and build it gradually. And when you've gained solid footing, you can then branch out and do some expansion, like I also did. It does take some time, and I would discourage you from trying to do like multiple segments at a time. Just take it one segment at a time, repeating the steps and tips over and over again. And this is how you build your list and gradually make it sizable. So I do hope now that you've seen the importance of building an email list, and that my 5 tips, were pretty much able to point you in the right direction, and they'll help you achieve something tangible with your list. Now, I know this training was just skimming the surface on building an email list. So the bonus I have for you is to click the link in the description and quickly sign up for the free masterclass. Now, during this training, you will get a behind the scenes look at how one of our top students was able to profit $14,000 a month within 90 days of launching his email list. I guarantee that this is a training that you definitely don't want to miss out on. Just click the link in the description and quickly sign up. And I have a question of the day. Have you started anything yet? And how is it going for you? What tip worked best for you, and how did you apply it? I would like to know the answers to these questions. Just simply drop your answers in the comments section, and I would be more than delighted to read all of them. Well, guys, I appreciate you checking out this video. You should most definitely subscribe to get more content just like this. Smash that like button if you got value and you enjoyed this video. And don't forget, if you're interested in checking out my free masterclass, and this is especially on email list building, then definitely click the link in the description. It's always great fun doing this with you guys. And as always, my name is Donnell R. Jones, and I look forward to catching up with you in my very next video. Peace out. Y'all be safe. Don't forget, click the link in the description and smash that like and subscribe button, baby. Take care.